update myself here.
Okay. So I'm trying a different setup. Hopefully this will not be presenting my GM side of Fantasy Grounds, but rather a player's perspective. Jen, can you?
We like seeing you.
What's that?
I'm loading now.
I said we like seeing
Yeah.
I'm loading now.
I don't want you to see my mistakes when I realize I'm not doing hit points correctly or. All right. Well, while you're joining in, let me finish recapping. So we left with, is it Krieg? I believe is the dark elf fighter who wore a mask, who was a member of the Enforcers Guild. It appears that at least 3 of you were swept up in some sort of coup or attack. It even looks like it may have been an open attack on the guild by some sort of cult called the Brotherhood of the Supple Hand. And you were attempting to flee to the sewers with Krieg leading the way so that you could perhaps get out of the city, because one thing you've noticed is that there's sort of pandemonium in the streets and there is no guardsmen around attempting to establish or reestablish order. So, meanwhile, on the other side of town, Kelithor and Arista were having discussions with Mara, the woman they had rescued from her house, which was some sort of laboratory or study. And she was very insistent and pleading with them to take her back so she could recover something that was perhaps in an underground room or vault beneath her home. And Kelithor, you were expressing some, I think you were expressing some misgivings. You didn't really want to go back. You thought it was a bad idea, but she's insistent. And she seemed
Correct.
largely motivated by not displeasing her master.
Correct. Which I don't want to go back, but I also feel compelled.
All right. Well, she is adamant that she will pay you and that it would be worth your while, and that if she does not recover it, she could be in some serious trouble. So perhaps those might be motivating you some. Jen, are you back? Are you joining in, or? Yeah, she must have stepped away. That's right.
No,
Uh,
I'm right here. I'm right here and I'm listening. It's just I have to come back around the corner and say hello.
all right.
So yes, I would like to go back. It
And-
didn't take much convincing for me because I'm really curious about what's going on back there.
Okay.
You're crazy.
I want to know what those critters were coming out of the volcano.
Now it's interesting. I don't see. So we have everyone here, right? Because I only see 4 in the channel. But Chris, I hear your voice, so I don't know why you're not.
Yeah, Jen isn't on. I don't see Jen's character.
Yeah, she's joining the client. There she is.
Oh, okay.
All
I
right.
don't know why it wasn't there. I just closed my character sheet and reopened it and it's fine.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we assume for the moment that Arista and Ugrax were going to, or I'm sorry, Kelithor, sorry, we're heading towards, or perhaps we're preparing to head towards the boat that you know will be launching and heading back north.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah. Jen, is there anything you, or I'm sorry, either of you, is there anything you want to be doing? Any kind of provisioning?
Yeah,
Okay. That'll take you just a little bit of time.
Right.
Fortunately, it appears. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and when this all started, I had just finished provisioning, so I'm essentially ready.
That's right. I think you did say something. Okay, cool. So, Jen, that's going to take you just a little bit of time.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, fortunately, in this part of the city, there doesn't seem to be anything out of the ordinary yet. So it looks like you're in not necessarily in any rush. Meanwhile, back on the other side of the city, we have. Go ahead.
I don't remember the woman's name that we're
Mara.
going to. Mara.
Mara. We have three characters attempting to make their way through. Oops, I'm in the wrong section. Images. And I don't know what happened to my map. Oh, that's not good. Not that one. And I don't think it's that one. No. Oh, okay. I think perhaps we'll shorten this part of it. The three of you do make it down to the sewers, and fortunately, you'll find that the grate is open, and you would be able to travel through the sewers. Let me see if. Okay, and why don't Thrak, you and Theron give me why don't you give me a wisdom check? Oh, very nice. Yes. So Thrak, actually, I'm sorry, Thrak. Isn't one of you a ranger anyway? I know one of you was a. You're the ranger. I'm sorry. Okay, I know one of you was a rogue and the other is a barbarian. That's right. Okay. All right. Well, Thrak, perhaps your your sense of survival helps you navigate quickly through the sewers. Maybe some past experience or something kicks in, and you are able to get through to the docks. You can see when you get there, the boat that had been mentioned before is there. It is loading. There are men hauling barrels and some crates. And at this moment, this part of the city is no longer... is not... there's no commotion at this point near where you are. So I assume you want to go ahead and board the ship. Okay. Good call. Let me see if I can. Oh, did you spend it all?
Well, I had a pretty crappy roll for my starting roll.
Ah, okay. That's right. Now, I had at one point. What's that?
I do have some gold, so we may want to see how much Yeah, but it benefits me to have you with me.
Okay, if you want to pay, I'll let you pay. If they'd rather I work, I'll work.
I would rather pay and have you with me. I don't want to get split up.
Okay.
I am trying. Go ahead.
We want to find like the captain to see if we can buy passage.
Sure, he will be up. He'll be right there, sort of directing his men to load the ship, and he'll see you approaching, and he'll take sort of a whiff, and maybe give you a sidelong glance, and ask you what your business is there.
I'm going to be trying to look charming and see if we can get some cheap fare, cheap passage.
Okay. Roll a charisma check. Oh, nice. He'll ponder for a moment. And let me see. What would be, I don't know offhand, what would be a fair price for passage up a river? Let me think. All right, so he'll take a look at you, kind of look you up and down, look at your friend, look at the other one who's wearing a mask, and say, all right, well, I do have a little bit of room left, and you look like you could use some help. You look like you've been down on your luck here from the smell of things. So for 10 silver, I'll take you up the river, each.
Okay, I'll do it. Hey.
All right, and Krieg will pay his own way, so you're only paying for 2. And I'm trying to show you the map, and I thought I knew a way to do that.
Water in the docks like, is it anything like clean?
It's relatively clean. It's a fairly big river, so there is constant flow. So
Okay, so Frank will look for some steps down or some of the steps.
okay.
Not normally so fastidious, but when it gets pointed out.
It's that OCD, right? Help me out here. How am I going to force a map to your screen? I thought I knew how to do this.
Well, when I looked online, it said once you share it, you should go for it on screen. But I think the issue was that all the maps are already shared.
So maybe if I unshare it and then reshare it. Share. I think that's what I thought I was going to do, and that doesn't seem to do it. Oh goodness. Come on, man. All right, something I'll look up here on the side. Maybe we take a break. If you could go into images, you should see a map called Captain Usar's Boat. And let me pull it up on my... Let's go. Well, isn't that? Bear with me. I'm trying to pull it up on the other screen here so we can see it. There we go. Oh, there's a zoom to fit, I think. Yes, there is, but that didn't.
Fantasy Grounds would let me go across two screens.
Yeah, right?
Oh yes.
With two screens, I can put my character sheet on one screen, see the map, and a dice roller on one screen.
What,
That-
for me, it goes across the Dragon across. It's not full street, but the window of the Dragon across the street.
Oh, like you put it in minimize mode and then you just stretch it all the way to the right across. Yeah, okay.
Let's try that.
Oh yeah. It was.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Actually, what is this doing?
I have an ultra wide, so I just press one screen and then I have
Yeah. I'm incredibly jealous. I haven't bought my ultra wide yet.
So,
That's ridiculous. No one needs more than 3.
are you kidding me? What do you have now, Mark? 6?
Yeah, but that's spread across 3 different computers, so.
So I will. Yeah.
Yeah, for one computer.
I've got an ultra wide, and just underneath it, I've got a really small monitor. Just use for safety and stuff. And then I've got a portrait, normal portrait monitor.
Nice. That's I think the way I'm going to go is put a portrait, add one and do a portrait mode.
Portrait mode I would change
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you happen to? Are you a coder or anything by any chance?
I dabble,
Oh, okay.
A portrait is awesome for coding.
Yeah. Yep. That's how I make my living. So.
Well, I want one now because I'm a homeschooler and so I'm constantly reading PDFs.
but get a cheap monitor that you can sort of portrait mode and
Well, thanks for the tip. Okay, so the captain will point you to one of the general quarters. And meanwhile, back at the... I believe where you guys would be at a tavern of some sort, gathering your provisions. You will...
You may not have seen my note. I'm going to make some more steep stones.
Okay, is that a... By the way, is that a ritual? Requires like 10 minutes?
I think so. I think it might even take me. I gotta find the
Hours, perhaps.
cunning craft. I think it's in the orange book. Steep stones. It doesn't say. It just says the caster places its sigil on 7
Oh, it's a
stones and puts them well in abundant number.
Yeah, so it's a sigil, so that's what's going to mean. It's going to take time.
Right.
It's not something. It's an instantaneous cast or takes a round to cast. It will take time to cast, but that's okay. We can deal with that.
Oh my gosh, Mark! I didn't read the whole thing. 7 steep stones is magic missile
Oh, that's interesting.
because each can either be used to heal a creature at 1 point of damage or flung as a magic sling stone.
Doing 1 point of damage.
It doesn't specify.
Okay. I'll take a look at it as we're going here. You may need to be using it before too long.
Okay.
But anyway, what I wanted to say was, back on your side of town, you hear a loud explosion.
Oh.
I'm hanging with Mars, so we would probably be in the tavern. Okay.
Okay, and then a short while later, you'll hear people sort of shouting, "What is that? What happened?"
Do I recall there being any mountains in this area?
No, it sounds more like a. It's not a volcano erupting that big. It's the walls may have shaken. Your ears may have popped a little, but it was more like some sort of black powder type of explosion.
So it didn't sound to me like anything I heard when somebody was in the magic lab and made a mistake. In school.
Yeah, sure. It would have. Yes. It. I tell you what. Give me a wisdom check.
Okay.
Yes, you recognize it as something that that you may have heard. Yes, around wizarding school
Oh.
when others were practicing their pyrotechnic arts.
All right.
And as a matter of fact, a few minutes later, you will smell the familiar scent of burnt gunpowder. Yeah, sulfur and saltpeter, or whatever else is in those simple gunpowder.
Okay. And so I'm gonna look at my comrades that I'm hoping are maybe across the table from me while I'm sitting here. You know, I'm just taking a glass of milk and dropping my stones in it, right?
Is that what the ingredients call for? Is that what the instructions are?
Yeah, they have to go into milk, be cooked in milk. So I've
Okay.
got, you know, a little conjured fire underneath a little glass of a little tankard of milk that's just sitting there boiling in the table between us. So I'll look at him and go, are we going to check it out? Should we just leave?
I would rather move towards the boat. Get out of here. I've had enough. We'll see.
I think that's a good idea. Is there a back door to this place? Like, presumably people are going to go out the front door to find out what happened. Unless the sound came from the back door.
The sound came from outside. You can't tell which direction. Well, I'm sorry. You could tell it was a bit to the south of you.
Okay, I'm sorry,
And-
is there a map on that I can...
We do have a map. Let me make sure you have it. It is shared. So if you go to Holmgren, yep, go to images.
Uncategorized? There we go. Holmgren. I'll get better.
So as you look at this map, the ship shipyard that you're heading towards you're on the north side of the bank. Okay, and the event that happened in the street happened in the south east part of that part of the city, of that quadrant of the city. And
Where am I looking on the map here?
so you have the map up, right? So if the city's divided into two halves, right? With the central, the palace, or the King's Keep or whatever in the center. You're on the north side of the map.
Okay.
Okay. You would be probably somewhere. You see the bridge that connects the island to the northern part. You're probably somewhere up in there. Would be the town. See, there's like a town square there. Some markets. There's more markets over to the left side, the western part of that. The shipyard, or the ship that you want to find, is on your side of the river, down by the southeastern edge, where it shows like 3 boats right there.
I
That
got it.
we could even, for argument's sake, say that boat that's currently docked. You got it.
Okay.
Whoever circled that would be the boat that's currently being loaded,
Okay.
and you are. Oh.
So I say we take the less conspicuous door and leave quietly.
Mara's good with that. I'm good with that.
While everybody else is distracted by whatever that sound is. And I
Okay.
secretly wonder if driving Mark nuts that we're not going to investigate the sound.
Oh no, that's okay. Because before you'll have much choice, as you start to head southeastward, you will hear the footfalls of what sounds like heavily armored men. You know, full plate. You hear the sound of plate on plate and heavy synchronized footfalls, and you will. Behind them, you can hear them barking orders to make way, to go back inside. And so you can tell that there's some small company of soldiers that seem to be marching on the street behind you.
Okay. So in that case, give me a second here. I may be able to help us. I gotta look up my spells here. This one might be fun to try.
But some sort of haste spell.
No. So bramble burrows. The spell digs a burrow under bramble or other undergrowth, and despite the bareness, it is a safe and warm refuge. The entrance is privy only to the caster's eyes, but they can guide in up to one person per caster level. A back exit leads 1d6 miles in the direction of the caster's choice. But the caster does not know exactly where, but the exit must be hidden by vegetation. Okay.
Interesting.
After 1 day or when the caster leaves it.
So it's some sort of grove portal, it sounds like. Is that something that requires a sigil?
Nope. It just creates a tunnel.
Okay. Let me look at it real quick. What are you intending to do with it then?
If I can get in it and lead somebody down to the boat dock area.
Oh, I see. You're just
2 of us
right. Well, yeah. There's 3 of you.
all
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
Well, I can't take them all together. I'd be able to take one at a time, right?
And I don't think it's miles away, so if you end up outside the city somewhere like that.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of going to get to. Thank you. It's intended to kind of safely allow you passage quite a ways away. So the end of it being close by the docks would require you to cast it very well, if you catch my drift. Otherwise, you may end up, 2 miles south of here.
Okay.
If it helps, you don't. I mean, you. There's nothing really. Right now, you're not. The only pressure on you to get there quickly is that you do hear commotion behind you, and you hear that it sounds like there are troops that are clearing the street.
So it's behind
But
us?
yes, behind you. So as long as you keep moving at a reasonable pace, I think you'll be fine.
Okay.
Which I would definitely want to be moving along.
Yeah, so let's move along.
Okay. Oh, and I don't have those two books digitally. Shoot.
Yes, we do.
Oh, I know we do. I don't have them on my where I can get at them quickly. Oh, they're in the Telegram, aren't they? I'll pull them down in a minute. And anyway, you will. So just kind of move this along a little bit. So you'll eventually make it to the ship. So this is what you're going to see. So when you get to the ship, you can see that it looks like the last of the provisions are being boarded. The captain is standing there, looking a little bit impatient. Perhaps he can hear the din of soldiers in the street. Maybe he heard the explosion. But he seems to kind of be hurrying things along. As you walk up the ramp, Yes. We spare no expense on the sound effects here. The Hounds of Hell. The Hounds of Tindalos. So as an aside, we
Sorry.
oh, okay. Go ahead. Who was it? Was it the kids or okay. Cool. All right, what was it? Okay, so as you start to board the ramp up towards the captain, right behind you, you will hear the heavy footsteps of two men, whom you will probably recognize as the two men who fled from the city with you and were on the boat and then departed and then sort of disappeared for a while. One of them will be carrying a very big, heavy sack over his shoulder, the tall man, the sort of half-giant man. And they'll just sort of run up the deck and they'll sort of nod quickly at the captain, who will just give him a quick glance at what they're carrying, and then just he'll wave them on as if there was some sort of prearranged deal with them. So at that, the captain looks at you and says, "Let me guess, you need to head back north too."
Yep.
All right. He says, "Well, I'm in a rush, so it's going to be 20 silver for the passage."
Okay.
And I'd kindly ask you to get aboard. I think we need to depart pretty quickly here. So you'll get on. They'll cast off the ropes. They'll sort of push back. Oh, with Mara, yes, because she is still sort of very weak, so she does sort of, right, require a little bit of... okay. So let's head back to the boat image.
How many silver and gold?
Captain News. Oh, it's already up. All right. Shortly after, as you're pulling away from the dock, a few minutes later, the oars are out. They're trying to paddle away from the dock, get upstream a little bit, and before they can hoist the sail, they have to pass under that bridge, of course. You do see a number of troops start to come through the street, and they seem to be rousting everyone and telling them to go back and return to their homes. And you can hear another explosion in the distance.
I'm happy.
So the boat so it's about midday now. I'm sorry, actually it's later in the evening because they were going to leave around 4 or 5, so about another hour or two up the river. Now let's get you on this boat for a second.
Sorry, I'm listening. I'm just...
Yep. Yeah, no problem. I need to add... That's not it. Let's get you in the initiative. Where's my character sheet?
I'm sorry, do I need to roll initiative? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, not yet.
Oh.
I just want to make sure you're on the combat tracker because that's how I put your tokens on the sheet.
You bet.
Yay, support the ship. Attack instantly.
That's right.
ships were so much fun.
Kelethor, why are you not going on my combat tracker? Ah, I can't do it from the party sheet. I have to do it from the character selection. Drak, Theron, Bones. Oh, not Ralnar. Ralnar is... Arista. Yep, alright, we got everyone on. So I think if I drag these out here, if you guys want to... Just kind of put them generally where you think you might want to be. Actually, I put you in the lower deck. If you want to be on the upper deck too, that's fine.
Where would Mara
Mara will probably... Oh, that doesn't help.
Because I was helping her, so that's why I can be wherever she is at this point.
Okay, I'm still sorry.
She'll be in the forecastle, resting. Yeah.
Captain,
Go ahead.
the captain, I'm sorry.
Hey, this makes more sense.
Okay.
Hey, when I put on my armor, shouldn't my armor class change?
I would expect it to.
It's not.
So you need to manually tweak it in the combat tab. So there you have your armor bonus, etc. So you can wear your armor set armor bonus.
It doesn't change when I wear it or not.
No, that really seems to only impact Burton.
So if you go to the combat tab, you can actually change your armor bonus manually.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, and I'm sorry, we're
Excuse me.
And what are we doing with it? I have to decide where I am.
Yeah, main deck.
And on where on the main deck I'm going to be, is that it?
Yes.
Not in the sleeping quarters, though, right?
No, you can be. I would say that Mara, as soon as she boards, just wants to lay down and continue to rest.
Is this an overnight trip or?
Yes, so definitely overnight. Going upriver is going to be a lot slower than coming downriver. You're going against current.
Then can I declare spot number 3 to be the infirmary?
Spot number 3 is probably the captain's quarters.
Oh, okay. Then how about spot number?
Yes, it is. Yes, let's see. On this map, what do we have? We have... Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And is M Mara?
M is Mara.
Oh, that time. Okay. I'll share a berth with Mara.
Okay. And give me one more minute. I want to put some deckhands on here. Give me 1 second. I am trying to get. That was 3, 4. You probably need one up in the rigging, so we'll just put him out here in the. Treat that as the rigging. Oh, you're right.
I was just about to say that. I love knowing the rigging.
Are they visible now?
No.
Do you see any other? Wow. Oh, I guess only if they're friendlies.
I
Which?
think 4 of us.
Yep. Yeah. We're. Yep.
Human.
Nice.
Captain.
You got it.
Oh,
4,
the other advice
3,
from the previous game,
2,
fantasy ground,
6.
to randomize the numbers. For example, these are units 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc.
Right.
This can be a thing if you have an encounter where you come across a zombie coming around the corner. You see it's zombie 4. And then there are 3 other zombies.
Right.
There is a feature in fantasy ground to put like random numbering on those combinations. Just
Right.
if you want to look into it in the future.
Yes, thanks. You know, I'd stumbled across it. I don't remember where it is offhand, but I guess I didn't realize the value of it until what you just pointed out. Where, I mean, for this point, there's 8. We'll say there's 8 deckhands for simplicity. But yeah, something to keep in mind. That or just create named monsters. But I'll take the yeah, I'll take the random numbers trick. And definitely look into that. Okay. So the first couple of hours, it's just steady going. There's not a lot of wind, so the ship is not making very much work. There's quite a bit of oar rowing. And we would be oar rowing from the lower deck, so we probably need some hands on the oars. It's starting to get dark. Do you want to consider a watch, or are you going to trust it to the captain and his men?
I'm gonna stay on the upper main deck, and I just hang out here as long as I can. I don't remember if the half-elven gives me enhanced ability to not sleep. I don't remember.
No, I don't think it does.
Okay, because I know, like, at least in D&D, full elves don't use how to sleep.
Right. I don't think that's a thing in CNC, but I would say for sure if it was, it certainly wouldn't apply to half elves. Now, there was, if I'm remembering correctly, you can take either the human or the elven sort of heritage path. Was that
I am
you took that?
Elvish. Yes, I'm more
Okay.
Elvish than
Then human, and I believe then that you get additional like class traits, right, or class skill, not race skills. What is it?
If I take the human side, I suffer no penalties. For my stats, I get no bonus. If I take the elf side, I get a bonus to dex or top.
Oh, okay.
You know, for the most part, and then I get enhanced resistance to the charm.
Right. Now, so you probably do not have low light vision or anything like that, right?
No, I do. I can see better than a human can, even if I can like torchlight and that. I do need some kind of light.
Okay. Does the half orc, have
The half orc has dark vision.
dark vision? Okay. Is anybody else going to be attempting to stay up, or are you all gonna head for a good night's sleep?
Which character that you played
Theron?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm in a room.
we indicated that we thought we should keep some little bit of location for the fact
I being more woodsy. I don't like being enclosed and stuff. I like more openness like this. So, if anything, I sleep on that.
All right, and bear with me. I need 2 more people on this.
room 6 if we're sleeping.
Yes. Okay. At some point, Calathor, the gentleman you had met up and earlier in the adventure, sort of saunters his way over to you and says, "Looks like you and your partner have managed to survive and do well here. Are you heading back to? Oh crap! I forgot the name of the town.
I did too. Don't feel bad. I've been bad about not taking
Womford. Sorry, it's Womford.
Yep. That's
Are you heading back to Womford or?
yes, the young lady that you helped us rescue impressed upon me. You need to go back, and you begrudgingly accepted that, or you begrudgingly we would help her, at least escort her back.
It's hard to say no to a pretty woman, isn't it?
That it is. Even though she would be prettier, she had more pointy teeth.
I get you. So what do you know what she's going back for, or what are you trying to get?
I don't know anything other than she says she has to go back to recover something where her master will be this.
Oh, interesting. And what do you know of this master?
Nothing.
Sounds risky.
She sure does seem a nice guy.
Oh, I'm sure they always are.
Yes, I know. But, yes.
So you don't know anything about what it is you're going to get, just that it's
Back there.
back there. Is she paying you well?
She says we'll be reimbursed well.
Well, I hope that works.
Money back.
Well, I tell you what. Maybe after you wrap things up there, I might. My partner and I might need some help. We have an errand to run, and could use a little extra muscle. Maybe you and your lady friend.
Okay. What kind of thing? Not going anywhere near that volcano.
Oh, it's simple. It's easy money. It's no, not near the volcano. We need to a little extra muscle because we have to go and retrieve something, a precious package, and the reward is a princely sum. Yes, the package is very precious to someone.
Okay. I'm a little distrustful because he seems. He used to be so gruff, and now he's being friendly.
Yep.
I'm a little distrustful by the change in manner.
Okay. You want to give me a wisdom check?
Oh, baby. Oh. Ah.
Okay. Yeah, other than what you just pointed out, it does seem a little bit different from his demeanor from earlier. It looks like he's just trying to strike up some small talk, maybe do a little bit of recruiting.
Okay. That I'll say, I will talk to my very new companion, and I'll get her feeling on this. But again, we have to complete this one promise. Well, I can't give you a hard answer now.
Okay. Well, it's a long ride. Maybe if you think about it, have your discussion. I see there's some other gentlemen on the boat. Maybe they could use some work too.
Mayhap.
All right. He'll sort of saunter away and head back up.
And I'm sorry, I missed the whole conversation because I had to be playing my.
Yep. Well, you were away in a cabin anyway, but basically, the gentleman that you met back at Womford just came down and chatted up Kelethor for a few minutes.
Gotcha.
So, let us.
Yeah, with that, I'm actually going to go crash for a little bit. Because it kind of made me think this is going to be a long journey. I might as well grab some sleep now.
Yeah, you got the feeling it was probably going to be a better part of a day, another day up the river. It was about a half a day down and a little more than a day up.
And I want to have my wits about me before we get anywhere near.
Okay. So the night passes more or less without incident. And just as dawn breaks, why don't you all give me a dex check? Okay, Kelethor. Did we get everyone?
Yep.
It's fine for me.
Well, it's fine for all but crack.
Right. So you are all jolted awake as the ship sort of lurches suddenly to the port side, and all but Kelethor, will fall out of your bunks. You were already prone, so now you're just prone on the floor. But all of your gear and such is all sort of scattered about as everything in the ship suddenly goes flying. And up on deck, you can hear the captain shouting at arms to grab your swords, grab your weapons on the deck.
Grab Sue's club, wherever it is.
All right.
Grabbing my stuff. Both my bow and my sword.
Okay, and bear with me a second.
I have to step away for like less than a minute.
Sure. All right, do we have initiative for everyone? We need initiative. Actually, I think it did it when I started the encounter. Yep. All right, and I should actually put our crew in bed.
World's fastest potty break.
Yeah, right. All right. So let's just go. So starting from being on the floor, Theron, I think were you not below decks? In the
Yep.
Yeah.
Down here.
Okay. So Theron, it's going to take you a moment to kind of gather your stuff. You need to get out of your doorway and up to one of those stairs to get up on the main deck. So I assume you're going to start gathering your stuff, or are you going to head back to sleep and try to sleep through it, or?
Nope. If I hear the yelling, if I had on, grab all my stuff.
Okay. Narv's going to do that. Human's going to get... the rest of the crew is going to get ready. Garn as well. All right. Okay, the ship lurches again. This time to the starboard side. So everyone give me another dex check. Actually, skip that. Let's do it on your turn. Yeah. Okay, captain has failed. Okay. You seem to stumble about as you're trying to gather your equipment. Mara will be there. All right, Jen. Yeah, he's just felt. So essentially, you're finding it difficult to gather your things as you're being thrown about your cabin. Okay. So you'll have your club, and you'll be at the door. Let's see, where are you? You are. Well, you're in the main
Quite close to the door.
Yep, and you'll be right out on the deck here in a second. Jen?
Do you want me to move my cursor?
Yeah, please. Now, hopefully I've done this so that you don't have to... Yeah, you just move your token freely.
So I get to the door or
You'll get to the door. On the next turn, you could open it and get through. Jen?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you roll me a dex check? The ship was just jostled to the right. Ah, very well. So you're able to kind of hop up quickly, get... What's that?
Jostled to the left.
No, you actually managed to keep your feet and get to your feet. Are you grabbing anything, heading to the door? What do you want to do?
Do I hear anything else?
No, right now you just hear the captain sort of shouting orders for everyone to get on deck and grab their weapons.
Okay, but I'm gonna leave Mara here.
Mm-hmm.
Both if I see everybody else going up.
Yeah. Mara does...
Staying behind.
Okay. Mara does not look like she's going to try to get up. She looks like she's just trying to hang on and not be seasick. So, go ahead. Are you going to move? Did you say you're moving your... Okay. So, you could get as far as... Let's see. What's the distance here? 10, 15, 20. You can get to the base of the ladder. Back here.
Okay.
Actually, I suppose it's the base is here probably. If I go by the drawing, that'll be the base of it. All right. Next turn, Mara is going to continue to bunk. Ooh, okay. You hear the the breaking of wood above you as it sounds like the ship is being torn apart. Theron.
I'm heading for the door. Do I get all my stuff?
Are you going for all your stuff or just your weapon?
All my stuff.
Okay. It's going to take you another turn to gather everything.
Okay.
And since I think one or two of you are going to be Kelethor.
Yep, I'm grabbing all my stuff.
All your stuff too? Okay. So at the end of your turn, you can put yourself in the doorway where Thrak is now.
Okay.
Both you and Theron. Alright, Jen, you're going to climb the stairs. She's probably dealing with the kids upstairs, so I'll just assume she's at the top of the stairs. She sees these large tentacles gripping the boat and attempting to... It looks like it's gripping the boat in such a way as it wants to pull the boat down or break it apart. So the tentacles are wrapped tightly against the boat itself. And I should point out... Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I know I heard you ask me if I was going to the top of the stairs. My intention is to go to the top of the stairs to see what's happening because I didn't stop to pick up my gear.
Oh, this is true, right? So, what you're seeing are these large tentacles out of the water, gripping the boat from out of the water, and it looks like the tentacles are trying to embrace the boat to either break it or pull it down.
Okay, so at this point then I guess I should go back down to get Mara until we have to get
Okay. Let's see. It was really kind of a movement and a quick peek. So go ahead and if you want to put yourself back down at the base of the steps there, I'll assume that you're moving sort of expeditiously at this point. Bones. I did not put bones on the map. He will also have made it to the door by now. Thrak? You have enough movement here to get that door open, maybe get out a few feet on the deck. Uh-oh. Did we... Oh. Oh, he's right to it. I would. Yep. And we'll say since you got that was such a short distance, you have enough time left for a swing. And that's a hit. They are large and rubbery and, yes, fairly static. Alrighty.
It may have been already deducted.
Yep, it looks like it put the wound in the right place. So I will let the computer do its thing instead of trying to interfere and screwing up myself.
You can target something by holding control and then clicking on it.
Okay.
I kind of don't like not getting to roll my own stuff though sometimes.
Well, you are. You're just replacing the damage for it. So Mark doesn't.
No, for rolling initiative, I don't get to roll that.
It does speak especially when Castles and Crusades has initiative every round.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and I'm sorry, I want to do one thing real quick, if I can do it quickly. Not there, not there. Not there. There. Oh, that will work. And I like it. All right. Okay, I'm sorry. So who is next? Garn. Garn generally knows what to do in these circumstances. He knows to get his ass up on deck. So he's gonna run towards the ladder, be ready for the next round. These guys are gonna start to pile out through the now open doorway. And let's see. And be generally well disciplined about it. Some of them perhaps have sailed with Captain Usar for a while, so they know what the hell to do. And then we got to do...
Here we go again.
Oh, I didn't really... I was just going to have to do it the old way. I didn't set their weapons correctly. And one will hit. One. And... I'll make sure I get all the... These guys are going to go down here and attack this. And one hit. And two hits. And that's on 4. Narv also somewhat well. The captain will attempt to keep the ship sort of on the straight and narrow. So he seems to sort of just be fighting the controls on the ship, trying to keep the ship straight and from veering left or right. And we're at the top of the order. Theron.
Alright, I have all my stuff. I'm going to head for the door. Yeah. Stairs.
Okay. Should be noted, technically, right? You would be the only one with full armor on.
I would or would not.
You would be.
Do I make
I would also have mine.
So yeah, we don't have to worry about it, I think, in this encounter. But I think going forward, we do want to pay a little bit of attention about if you're like going bedding down for the night. You don't really want to sleep in your full armor. Let's see. You have leather. Actually, everyone has leather, but Arista. Oh no, I'm sorry. Some of you have chain, don't you? Thrak, you have chain. Hide.
I have leather.
All right. I'll have to look into it. I'm not sure if sleeping in leather armor is well advised. If it causes you to not get a full, a restful sleep. We don't have to worry about it now, but something to think about going forward. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. What were we gonna do, Theron?
Do I make the bottom or can I get out?
You can go ahead and ascend those stairs if you want.
Okay.
Which will put you, right there. And that'll be about all the movement. Ascending those stairs pretty much takes all your movement. So you can either sort of take another movement and get next to the tentacle, or do you have a bow or something readied, or?
No, actually I see the two other tentacles with nobody fighting them. Somebody
Correct.
up to that muscle.
Okay. Yep, and so you know that image, I'm sorry, I meant to say this earlier, that image is somewhat accurate. There is a harpoon up on that forecastle, so...
I'm going to go man the harpoon.
Okay. It's a bit big and unwieldy, but your target is very close, so... Let's see, the captain... will again not be able to do much with the steering. We'll go ahead and roll for the humans. And 9, 2. Holy cow! Bear with me a second. All right. It was 5. 1, 1, 5. 2. It's 8. It's 10. And 1, 1, 5, 7, 9, and 2. Alrighty, and Thrak, you are up.
Let's try that tentacle. It's also a hit.
Nice. Alright, that tentacle. Will quickly withdraw into the water.
So next round I will be heading up to
Alright, and I did not get Narv up. Kelithor.
So I'll get through the door, and I will see, these tentacles. I see the one up top. It's number 3. So I will head for that.
Okay. And let's see, around the corner and up the stairs. That's just about all the movement you've got. So, all right, Arista, you're heading back to your cabin?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yes, heading back to my cabin. Sorry, I'm playing with Discord sounds, so if it's not my turn and you hear me, please let me know. I'm trying to figure out settings.
Okay.
Yes, heading back to my cabin, I want to get Mara and our gear. My intent here is, if this ship is going down, because there's giant tentacles on it, I don't want her to be below deck
Okay.
when it happens, with no chance of escape. When I got on board, did I notice that there were any lifeboats? Safety gear.
No.
Buoy.
I'm sorry, there's one boat in the back. I forget what they call that, and a boat in the back. A small boat.
Okay. A dinghy?
Yes, a dinghy. It probably would not fit everyone on board.
Certainly not.
They did not exactly have safety regulations in those days.
Right. So what I will do, however, is probably try to get Mara to it.
Okay.
Which means that I will probably start engaging, at some point, that tentacle over there. At the place of business.
That tentacle over there. Alright, so it's going to take you a little bit to get down in there. Go ahead and move your
Right.
token.
Move down to Mara.
Yep, to move down to Mara, to gather all your things. That's going to take you several turns.
Okay.
And Mara does need a little bit of help, so...
Right.
And she appears to not be motivated to move quite yet. So,
Really?
well...
Trying to get her words about tentacles. Maybe a few choice words about tentacles and needing to get out of here now.
Okay. Right, as you enter the cabin, she's kind of like, what's going on?
Tentacles. There are tentacles. There are tentacles trying to drag the ship under the water.
Tentacles? What
Go.
what color are they?
What color are they?
Green.
Green. We need to get out of here.
Oh, fascinating. Let me get my book. I wanna sketch them.
No, there's no time for your book right now. get upstairs. We're not going to be caught below deck when this thing goes down.
Oh, okay, if I must. Here, can you hand me my things?
Yes, you must. Yes, no, I'm not handing you things. I'm carrying your things for you. We must go expeditiously.
All right. She seems to start moving, so Theron, you're up.
All right. I have the harpoon. I'm going after number 2.
All right. So let us. Yeah, it's sort of an improvised weapon, but it's fairly. You know what, though? It's going to take you 1 round to load it, to load the harpoon up.
Okay.
And then 1 round to fire. Firing would be your normal attack. So your basic. Oh, you don't have a base to hit yet, do you? So here's a 0. So it's essentially the die. You're just rolling on the die. The good news is they're big and blubbery and hard and not hard to hit. So.
My ranged.
Yes, that makes sense. All right. You missed anyway. So it's going to take you another round to load it and then a round to fire, round to load, round to fire. Good news is the harpoon does a lot of damage. Narv and Garn are going to run down here. All right. Arista, you're still gathering things. We'll say at this point you've kind of got everything scooped up in your arms, and all of Mara's things. So next round you could start working towards the door, working out of the hole. Bones, we'll throw an attack and miss. I'll get all the humans here in a second. Alright, Thrak. You can see some movement up on the... Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. You were heading towards the forecastle anyway, so...
I don't know how far I can move. It says... I'm trying to leap it to a time job as fast as I can.
Okay.
It is if I'm running, so
Yeah, I was just going to say, yep, if you want to treat it as a double move.
so close to at least start on this next one.
Okay.
Can you remove my, because I can't do it myself, the target that I have on Tentacle 2? You should have an option to. Unfortunately, I can only target, I can only untarget things if they're still in the
Okay.
No, it may be grayed out, but target mode still works. You just click target mode.
Yeah, but I didn't see it untarget. I've untargeted it. No, I didn't see it. Thanks.
Yep. I think what we'll do is we'll just delete the token for now. And hopefully that will erase all the...
That doesn't remove the untargeted. So I think you as the CK, you should have an option to clear the target. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't actually. I see visibility and delete the token, and then I can, you know...
Whatever you did, just clear it for human too.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Yes, there's in the combat tracker. There's a targets
Yeah.
thing. Gotcha. Okay.
But as a player, we can only add and remove targets that we can see. Once a token is removed, you need to clear the target for us.
Okay.
So I guess that's my move this round. I'll just move up to
Okay. Most of the crew are going to help their captain. Only a few have bothered to move forward. All right. Tentacle's turn. It looks like the two tentacles at the front of the boat have gotten a very good strong hold of the boat, and they are really putting pressure on the mid decks there, and you hear the boards starting to just splinter and creak and groan, and a few of the boards pop up actually under the stress on the main deck, and it sounds like the boat is just about ready to splinter into two pieces. Kelethor.
Okay. I ran up here. I have my bastard sword.
Okay.
Since I haven't engaged, I'm going to engage it, but in two-handed.
Okay.
Because that's great.
So maybe the salt.
My
Yes, a little bit of salt spray from the thrashing of the tentacle, the boat, maybe a splinter from the boat. Captain is going to abandon trying to keep the boat and any sense of straightness, and it's going to step up. And sensing the urgency of his boat splintering,
You would never call it a boat.
yeah, well, he would call it by her name,
You'd call it a ship.
his ship. Yes, but
Seems to be calling it part of floating scrap in this game.
all right, Mara's going to sort of stumble and grab onto you, Jen. So Narv is going to attack the tentacle.
Stabilized her?
Yep. Well, she's just leaning on you, so as she was before. Although she did get a mostly good night's sleep, so perhaps she's requires a little less assistance now than she did yesterday. Again, one attack. Two. All right. And Tentacle 4 is going to sort of slip off and slip back into the water as the big, I'm sorry, one of the Narv, the man who was chatting you up last night, Kelethor, takes a nice chunk out of it. They are all going to, I think, start heading back towards the other. Oops. The captain, where are you, Captain? He's going to quickly shout to the front, or to the forecastle. I'm sorry, I thought I already played Mara. Thrak.
You did. Don't hit it.
A critical fumble. We'll leave that be for now. Tentacles.
Good to know I'm not the only one who whipped it.
How the hell can I miss?
Must have had an unsteady footing with
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
That's what I'm going to
Slammed
say.
his, yeah, he slammed his foot into a splintered board. Threw him all off.
Yes, it exactly. So at right about that time, the tentacles at the front sort of seem to give an extra surge of effort, and you do now clearly see a crack in the boat, and you can hear that it's cracking all the way down the sides. There's now a big gap running most of the the width of the main deck. And she appears to be now mostly broken into. Garn, gotta run to the front. Make it there. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to captain. Running down the stairs might make it a little farther. Darren, you hear the sound of wood definitely breaking behind you. Are you there, Theron?
I'm sorry, I forgot I was on mute.
That's right.
I'm still aimed at Tentacle 1.
Yes. Are we in an odd? Were you loading last time? Or is this the round for you to load?
No, I loaded last time. Well, no, I had to shoot, then load, so now I have to load.
Right. So this essentially you're taking your time right now to slot the next harpoon into the harpoon. I don't know what they would call a harpoon shooter. Sort of like a crossbow.
Yep.
Arista. So you're going to move at about half speed here because you've got Mara on your shoulder. So if you want to run, are you there, Jen?
Yes, I'm here.
I'd say if you. That's right. Assuming you left the door open, I think if you want to try sort of running as best you can, you could probably make it to the base of the steps.
Okay, and as I'm doing that, I would like to contemplate. Would I presumably Mars somewhere?
Yes.
Would I ever try to sleep something as large as this before?
That is a very good question. No, because you don't even know what this is. All you've seen are these strange tentacles wrapped around parts of the boat. They seem to be about 15, 20 feet long at least.
Okay.
You would have also seen as you're running through, even in a casual glance, that the sides of the boat, there's sunlight coming through
Right.
the sides of the boat, and the floor is quite uneven and broken here.
Okay, we're getting out of here.
Kelithor,
I'm gonna try to swing again.
with two-handed.
Two-handed.
Oh, nice.
Damage. Oh.
It definitely felt that one. So it recoils slightly, but continues.
Not pulling as hard.
Not pulling as hard. It's because it senses victory soon. All right, the humans. They are all going to try to pile up at the stair. Which is only wide enough to admit about one safely up it. But I think we'll get two in there for a nice hit. Oh, and he would be able to get close enough for a hit. Critical fumble. A hit. And another hit. Two and six. That's 2 and 6. Alrighty. Trying to figure out if there's a way to mark these guys as not needing a combat turn. Add effect. No, that's not going to do it. I'm sorry, bear with me. All right, I think we're actually at the top of the order.
Not needing a combat turn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm trying to move through the crew here as quickly as possible, and on all 4 of the tentacles are all 2 now. All right, Theron, you're back up. It's your shot now. Oh. Oh. All right, I'm going to say, given the size of this weapon, a miss here could be catastrophic. So go ahead and roll again, and if you hit, then you're essentially your harpoon either glances off it or just goes astray. If you get less than a hit, then we're going to have to decide if your harpoon was a little too far to the left. Oh. Okay.
Normally I tell you to get new dice.
Oh, well, let's see. See, a ranged miss. I'm trying to remember how we do ranged misses in CNC by the book.
There's another crewmate there, so we can do 4-side dice. 1, 2, right, 3, 4 human.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Ah, Thrak.
I'm sorry.
I'm not that attached to him anyway.
All right.
It's a close range harpoon.
Yes. So, oh, I still want to give you a chance to miss because this could be bad.
I'm okay with the dice have not been kind to me yet. I'm not ready for them to start being extra generous.
Yeah, go. Let's just go ahead and roll damage. We'll go on. So roll a d12.
Now he gets
And yeah, and add 4 to that, so it'd be 7.
Gurgle, gurgle.
down to 6
All right, Arista.
You're a PP one.
I don't think you were above Dex to witness that. So, but if you do want to climb the ladder, you could be up on Dex here at the end of this turn. Actually, I think you can go. Are you there, Jen?
I'm here.
Yeah. So moving up the ladder would be 1 turn, and then you'd have another. You could decide what you do.
There's nothing in this whole thing, but you know, squishy.
You hear Thrak roar.
Yeah.
I'm probably lamenting that my comrade. Yeah. So I'm gonna go to talk with Mara. I suppose. I should probably move myself in. Thumbs up.
Yep. You can move a little more if you want. It would essentially be, double moving.
Okay.
I'm assuming you're moving frantically and expeditiously.
Okay, in that case, no worries. So I'm gonna take Mara over here, and get as far up to that quarterdeck as we can.
Okay. Yeah, you could at least get to the footstep or the foot of that ladder. Yeah, that stair.
Come on, Mara, let's go.
Kelithor, you hear what sounds like an orc crying out in some pain. behind you.
Well, I'll take note of it mentally, but I am focused on this tentacle. I want it to withdraw. Take that.
Nice.
And what can I get? 7.
And it automatically added it. Good. Leave well enough alone. All right. That was Calathor, the crew, who all seem to move as one. That's probably because of a setting I have, which is fine. Realizing they cannot possibly all get up that stair at the same time, are going to come over here. And let's see, one more. And 2 of them are still going to get a thwack. And they're both going to miss. That is the humans. I mean, that's the crew. All right, top of the order, Theron.
Alright, I'm going to run over to Drac because I shot him, and I'm just going to use my sword.
Okay.
Can you put him out of his misery?
No, man.
Just because I'm half orc, you don't. You're all the same.
Ah! Whoa! I stumbled.
Jesus, Joseph and Mary.
Maybe you feel a little too guilty still. So your aim is a little off.
No. He slipped on Thrax's blood.
Oh,
Death of infection.
yeah, that makes a lot more sense. All right, Jen, if you want to get up onto the toward the back of the the back of the quarterdeck there.
Yes, please.
Okay. It looks like, well, let's just leave it there, and then I'll let you pick it up next turn. Captain is going to shout, "Move out of the way, you mangy mutt!" So he's going to shout at his crew. Mara's hanging out with Jen, but she seems distracted by looking back at the tentacles.
I think we need to kill pirates as soldiers for diction.
Who, me?
You just called the crew mangy mutts.
That's the captain.
What the captain would say.
Would you call them mangy mutts?
Oh yeah.
You scurvy dogs.
Exactly.
How's that? Is that better? Bones. Bones should be in the action somewhere. I've lost his token. Oh, he probably was up on deck here. Thrack. He's...
Is now roaring in anger and takes it all out of a big smack from the tentacle.
Thrax smash.
Nice.
Nice.
All right. Narv.
Just screaming the whole time now. Crack is just out of control. With a harpoon through his shoulder.
Two very nice tentacles left. Mm-mm-mm.
I don't like that sound.
Well, one of the tentacles just critted the boat.
Oh.
Are you able to see my rolls, or probably not?
Nah. Shadow rolls.
Okay.
Yeah, shadowy dice sit across that side of the screen.
Okay. I will learn how to control their visibility because I would like to have shown that one. I've critted twice so far this encounter. So, yeah, the tentacle to the right, tentacle 3, manages to just get a wonderfully good grip on the boat and just wrenches down. So why don't everyone give me a dex save?
There is an ability for the barbarian.
Nice, Kelthor.
Instance, able to strength that goes beyond the physical driven by instincts, known under difficult circumstances, they tap into it. So, is it possible to use that in this case?
I would say you're probably a little ticked off that you've got a harpoon that went into you, so a bit of...
Condition on using this if it's for the future is I must not have hesitated at all in my actions. I must be just full focus on what I'm doing, which I think in this case.
Okay, up to the point that you're invoking that rage, or
Yeah,
even afterwards, yeah. Okay.
can't be backing away from the challenge at any point from the start.
Yeah. No, I'd say he ran right up to that tentacle and even fought through a harpoon.
So that would give me some sort of when using skills with physical actions difficulty require physical attribute check, you get a +4, those are not wearing armor over 25
Okay.
Rage against the sushi.
and I still fall. Damn it!
All right. It's not prime, yeah. That's all right. You're not alone. Pretty much most of the boat is. Except for one important person. All right. So as the boat lurches, again, you hear more wood splintering. This time the wood is flying up into the air. The boat is now clearly in two as right about the middle of the boat, a large crack, a large gap appears, and the front of the boat sort of lurches down into the water a little bit, as does the back, because it was sort of pulled up out of the water briefly as that tentacle grabbed it. Jen, did you make your throw, your save? Because your save.
No, I did not. I'm sorry. Was I supposed to be doing this every round?
No, just now, the tentacles just had a sudden surge of energy. That is prime, though. Okay, so you would have just made it. Mara did not, so she's down on the deck. Our guy Garn is not. All of the humans are, and the captain is not. Where is that captain? He's buried now underneath all these humans. There he is. So everyone who did not make it is now prone. And we'll take it from there. Let's see. Oh, that was the two tentacles. Garn made his save. He is going to retrieve something. Oops. He needs to be down here. They all failed. They're all going to start to come to their feet and make a little bit of a morale check. And they all stick with their captain. Kelithor.
I have a tentacle in front of me. All I can think of is chop, chop, chop.
Okay. I think Kelithor would understand what it would mean for a boat to be split in two.
Yes, I'm also on a spot where the tentacle is, so it's most likely if it keeps pulling, it's going to drag me under much quicker.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Does that
Just so
hit?
you know, combat, the dice roller is not telling us if we hit.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. I'm sorry. So yeah, that's definitely a hit, Kelithor. You need 11 to hit, by the way, on the tentacles. Damage 5 to that. And the tentacle is bleeding profusely now. It looks like you've taken out a decent chunk out of it again. Jen, are you there?
I'm here.
All right. Oops. I was going to get you on that boat.
So I'm not distracted any longer because the dog's barking. Okay, so I would like to go Mara into the boat.
Okay. That'll take you about a round to do.
Come on, Mara, hop in,
Okay.
and then watch. As soon as Mara's in the boat, the tentacles let go of our ship, and then go for the boat.
Captain's going to squeeze in here, and he's just going to have a wild look in his eye. You destroy my precious. And he ran in and slipped on more of that orc blood. And believe it or not, the tentacles miss. Theron.
So I'm going to attack again with my sword.
Okay. That is a miss.
Dice are not being kind.
No. Mara just kind of gets flung in the deck. Narv picks himself up. He sees what Arista is doing, and he runs down to the other side and begins untying ropes. Garn has grabbed what he came down for and is heading back to the stair.
Yeah, but where's the split? Because that split might be
Oh, you're right.
a issue for him.
You are absolutely right. Yeah, now there's a huge gap there. Let's see.
Is it split completely in two?
At this point, yeah, the only parts that are still sort of together are deep down into the hold, which is now quite a bit underwater. So on the main deck, you would see probably a 4 or 5 foot gap where the boards have either come apart or just been ripped and flung out, you know what I mean, like destroyed. And then down in the lower deck, there's another 2 or 3 foot gap. All the side walls are all split as well. So you can imagine that the boat is definitely now in two pieces, though they're still sort of connected a bit by the bottom of the boat.
We haven't gone full Titanic yet.
Yeah, not quite yet full Titanic. You did have that moment of rise where the back of the boat did kind of come up for a second there, and then when it slammed down, everyone had to make their check. Let's see. This is a good point. Yeah, I think Garn would have to sort of do something to try to, and he will not make his check, and he will fall and stumble right there and be prone.
More orc blood.
It's seawater. Bones. Bones has just not really been effective. I hate to say, but all right.
And venture to say that most of us have not been very effective.
Which is odd because these tentacles are not hard to hit. So
It's all from your perspective on how effective you have that.
Indeed.
Those are those two.
I'm sure the tentacled creature thinks we've been extremely effective.
All right, I think
He's not warning you.
that will be enough that Tentacle 3 will sort of slip off as one of the crew members is able to come up and give it a very good thwack. And one of the crew members on the other side also gives Tentacle 1 a thwack, and it looks like it's barely holding on now. It's just a few pieces of maybe sinew and muscle are holding it onto the deck. But it is hanging in there. Let's see, where are we at? No, it continues to untie ropes. And he's glancing back over his shoulder as if to look and see what's going on. But at this point, the right side of that, what do we call it, skiff?
Skiff would be a good word.
Yeah, that part of the skiff is starting to lower, Jen, so you better hurry it up. Mara's really not doing much. She's trying to peek up and document the scene. Theron.
With all of my might and will, I'm gonna try and hit something.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's just...
17. I swore I saw 17.
I did too. So that means it does show when it's gonna like roll around. It's the same for everyone, huh?
Yeah.
The dramatic almost 17. Well, it would appear that perhaps orc blood is not a good combat lubricant. So,
So next time, don't shoot a harpoon into the harpoon.
yeah.
You know, it kind of depends on which side you're on, right?
I mean, are we still complaining about this? This is an Maybe move on.
All right, one or two of the deckhands now are gonna start screaming. She's going down, Captain. She's split in two. And let's see, at least a couple more hits in. I got one hit. Yeah, and with that, this tentacle is going to withdraw and sink back into the water. That's the crew.
What's the state of the boat? I understand we're on a river. Are we anywhere near a bank? How wide is the river? Are there other boats around? Can we see
You are...
a sinking vessel and become hyper aware?
Right. So you happen to be in a slightly wider part of the river. The river's about a half mile wide at this point, and obviously fairly deep to house such a ostensibly large monster. You're right about in the middle. So at this point, if you were to try to think about swimming to shore or whatever, it's 50-50 which one looks easier to get to. So I get just over a quarter of a mile to land. So yeah, that is a long swim.
Especially if you're wearing everything.
Why, oh why didn't I take that spell and then let me breathe underwater?
Now, it is possible to give you some options. You could either see if some of the, just kind of stay near the wreckage as this boat, which is almost certainly going to sink, and see if some of the maybe some of the cargo floats. Yep, try to catch on to some of that.
Can we try steering it until it does sink?
At this point, you'd be steering half a boat.
And we're on the other side.
Yep. So you'd have to make it across the main deck, get across that gap, and you can hear the water is just pouring now into the main. Into the lower decks. So the hole by this.
In our years.
How big is the gap? 5 feet?
About 5 feet. It would be a fairly decent difficulty check to get across.
I'm gonna try it.
All right. You could look around quickly, see if you can find some boards or something to maybe bridge the gap. That might help. Might take you a little longer, but safer way across.
Cargo or beddings or something that boards that snap and kind of try and get across.
Okay. All right. So as you begin looking around, you will see down as you look down into the hold or down into the lower deck. There's quite a bit of stuff floating around in there. The river has already started to fill. It's filled all of the hold and part of the lower deck. And if you were to get closer to those hatches, about halfway, you could see one of their other big guy sort of swimming and grabbing the ladder to try to get up.
I want to help them.
All right, so give me a we'll just assume that you're looking around. You'll eventually find something next round. What do the rest of you want to do? Calathor?
Was somebody yelling, she's going down and the tentacles withdrawn. I'm now going to start looking, I'm essentially looking for Arista. And I see her.
I'm over here trying to get Mario.
So- My focus is to head towards Arista.
Okay. So when you get to the main deck, are you going to be looking around trying to find a way across, or are you just going to attempt to leap it?
Jump over. I'm going to attempt to leap over it.
Okay. All right. You'll notice too, as you're doing that the captain seems intent on finding something down in the lower decks. So he sort of jumps down into the lower deck and starts swimming. All right. Go ahead and give me a dex check. So your target would be.
Dice gods, be with me. No, you are not.
No. Okay. You do not make the jump. Right.
Now I'm in the lower deck.
Right. You did not fail by much. So yeah. So go ahead and we'll just say you land safely in the water, but you're now in the lower deck. Yep. Thrak. You can see Theron is down there trying to find some wood or planks or something to bridge across. You saw Calathor leap and misjudge it. A couple of the crew are diving actually down into the lower deck.
Yeah, okay, I will dive down to the lower deck and try and help as many people get to some debris or floating whatever they can.
Okay, you'll notice one of the crew attempts to leap and completely misses, and he falls headfirst into the water. The other makes it clearly across. Okay, Bones. I think Bones will just work for himself and take a nice leap off the front and off the bow and start swimming.
Thrak will be somewhere down in the lower deck just trying to help him throw.
Okay. All right. We'll start with you two. Eventually, you're going to find a couple boards or something that have sort of looks like they can bridge. Oh, you're going farther down into the deck. Okay.
I said I was driving down to where the people are.
I got you. Yep. Gotcha. Sorry, I misunderstood. Okay, so Theron, you would eventually find something you could cross with.
Okay, so I'm going to cross and get up to the quarterback.
All right. Garn will will attempt. Let's see. Captain will be trying. I'm trying to think how he gets down to the lower hold. I guess it would be down through this hatch here. Oh no, this would be the ladder down, the right-hand ladder. Is that right? Nope, it is that hatch. And at this point, several. What's that?
Suddenly I'm like the only one left up there.
Yeah. Oh no, you've got Narv. You got that boat starting to head down in the water. Theron's joining you at this moment. I'm sorry, Theron. Eventually, you'll have one of the crew member there. Garn will make it up. And it looks like some of the crew are having an argument with the captain, telling him that he just has to leave it, but he's insistent that he needs to get down in that hold and get something. And so he just starts yelling at them, "Go get off the boat, save yourself." So, Kelithor, you were down there by happenstance. You want to stay down there? You want to try to get back up?
Well, since I'm down here, I'm gonna just try to get back up.
All right. You figured in another 5 or 6 seconds, this lower deck will probably be underwater. So you got about another turn or two tops.
As I start to try to get up and out, I'm gonna yell, "Get out of here, you fools! You're gonna die!"
You are very persuasive. Oops, wrong guy. It looks like 2 of them will give up arguing with the captain and follow you up. All right, Thrak. What do you want to do?
Is there anything here that's obviously floating?
Oh yeah, plenty of flotsam.
So I'm just grabbing bits and then thrusting them towards the human of the captain.
Okay.
I'm screaming at the captain, "Get up! Come on, we've got to get hold of something. The ship is going down."
All right. He's generally seems to be ignoring you. He seems insistent that he needs to get down there in that lower hold.
What's he doing exactly?
He's trying to undo the latch for that that gate that oh, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Yeah. Yeah, so he's trying to lift that grate up so that he can get down in there into the lower hold.
Okay, if he's so insistent on doing it, I'm going to help him out. If he get that sorted,
All right. So why don't we give some strength checks here? All right, yeah, and you sort of you spur the other 2 crew members to help out as well. So between the 4 of you, you were able to lift that grate. And Captain takes a couple of good puffs of air, as if he's preparing to dive, and then he dives down into that hold. And his crew, who are fiercely loyal, do the same. Let's go back up to the top here for a second. Theron, you see the boat or the skiff? It's got a young lady in it. It's halfway down in the water. Although the water is sort of rushing up to get to it because the boat is sinking slowly here. So.
Can I turn the wheel and kind of guide the ship towards the shore?
Sure.
Right, I'm just
There's-
trying to get it going that direction.
There's, you could do that. Keep in mind, first of all, the ship is not really moving, so there's really not going to be much steering. But maybe through your efforts, you could point the ship a certain way, maybe maneuver it a little bit before it finally gets too deep.
Yeah, I just want to try to traverse this to the side just a little bit.
All right.
As possible.
All right, give me
going backwards because we're going against.
the current. Right. Yes, actually, that's a good point. I tell you what, give me a roll. If you can roll exceedingly high, we'll see if that can perhaps give you some sort of benefit. Otherwise, it's almost impossible to move. Oh, give me a dex. Actually, wait, before you... Oh, you already rolled it. That's right. Oh, it is in prime, though. We will say that the boat... as Calathor pointed out, it is moving slightly in the current, moving backwards. So there is a little bit of movement, and your steering... You actually managed to sort of swing the back end of the boat around a little bit. So it's now heading towards either shore. Which shore do you want to pick? You would know... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The side where the dock would want to be on overhead.
You're in the middle of the river. There's no dock anywhere.
Do you want
Oh, up the river?
Yeah.
Um...
If we were on the south side, that's the side I would want to go on.
Okay, so the river's running north and south.
Okay, so we were eventually going to get off on the east-west direction.
Okay, so you're going to try to turn it to starboard and see if you can get that ship to move any closer to land.
Correct.
To the right. Okay. You're doing that. You're gaining maybe a few feet. Jen, I assume you're just going to continue to try to get that boat in the water?
Yeah, well, and actually we're concerned about getting Mara in the water. Or getting, so Mara's in the boat.
She's in the boat. Yep.
No?
Yep. It's being lowered.
Imagine the ship is sinking, so I'm not worried about trying to lower the boat. I'm going to pull out a knife and cut whatever ropes are holding the boat to the ship.
I was waiting for you to do that. Yes. Okay. So you.
I got her into the boat. Now I'm going to get the boat into the water.
Okay.
hopefully you don't dump her.
Alright. So I'm gonna load all of her gear in there, but I'm gonna keep mine with me.
Okay.
Just in case. Mine's just a backpack anyway, so I'll put it on. So otherwise I'm wearing them. So I'm gonna drop that boat.
Okay. Let me see.
No whammies, no whammies, no whammies, stop.
No, you managed to succeed in what you're doing. That boat slams at the water. It's only a few feet down now because the back end of the boat has come down quite a few feet. So the boat is half in the water. Narv notices what you've done and goes ahead and cuts the other line. And you see the boat starting to drift away.
Great. And where can I see Calathor from where I am?
He is, I think, still down in the lower deck. Yeah, he's a deck below, so behind you.
Okay, so my next intent is to run, and I'm gonna move my character, but if I can't stay there, that's fine. But I'm gonna run
Yep.
over this way
Okay.
to try and look for him, and then eventually over to here to look down.
Okay, so you're going to run back down the steps. You see the...
Then I'm gonna stand at the top and look down and yell for him.
Okay, but you did run down from the quarterdeck down to the main deck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Calathor, over to you.
Calathor, where are you?
I'm trying to climb the steps, so I'm literally coming right up behind her. Or
Okay.
right up in front of her.
All right, well, you'll make it right next to her.
When the boat started to drift away, what direction was it going?
It's going to the right. So the boat is sort of turned into the middle of the river slightly, and the current is starting to push it towards the right, so that it's slightly closer now, or it's heading closer anyway to the right-hand shore. Thrak, captain's down below. He's been down there for a few seconds.
Okay.
You could probably latch it back.
Okay, then I'll latch it back and then dive down into the hole.
Okay. So take your breath. The captain will be back here.
Again with the barbarian ability.
Mm-hmm.
I can hold my breath. I think Constitution scoring levels.
Oh, interesting. Okay, because I was thinking Constitution rounds for normal. Maybe I should look up what swimming is. If that's the case, then perhaps without the ability, you're at half con. Yeah, that's all right. It isn't going to take very long. I don't think he's going to take more than 5 or 6 rounds down here anyway. So, all right. When you get below in the hold, you can see that the captain has by now made it through the rear door. One of his crew is holding the door, and the other one just sort of sitting there. Not quite sure what he's doing, but he's standing by his captain.
So is he rummaging through something specific?
Yes, he's definitely looking for something specific.
No, but I mean, he's looking at a really specific place, so there's no way I can help him find what I need.
You could attempt. Right at this point, he seems to have swum directly to a specific spot. So you could just.
I'll swim over and try and aid him in finding whatever it is doing, whatever. If he's trying to open boxes, I'll open similar boxes. If he's turning over things, I'll turn over similar things. Just try and help out.
Okay, why don't you give me? Yeah, go ahead.
Yep.
Give me Give me a class check.
Last check is
Yeah, your class prime plus level. Okay. So you're not quite sure what it is you're looking for, so you're just sort of opening boxes and small. He looks like he's mostly looking through small boxes, but you have no clue what he's looking for, so not of much help. Okay, Jen, that boat is in the river. Actually, I'm sorry. Let's go to Theron first. You're closest to the boat. The boat is now drifting away.
I'm going to try and make it into the boat.
Okay, so you're going to take a little bit of a jump there.
Yep.
Go ahead and give me a dex check. Do not fail badly. Whew. And it's prime. Oh, you land squarely in that boat. Not even,
That's 7.
not even a wobble. I think the human or the other two crew are going to attempt the same, and neither of them are going to make it. So they're going to overshoot and land in the water. Let's hold off on Narv and Garn first.
Paddles and oars or anything?
In the skiff there are, yeah.
Okay, let me try and...
Yeah, without right now the skiff is not attached to the boat, so it's going to start to drift. So you either want to toss a rope back for someone to catch or grab an oar.
And I know Narv, right?
You have seen him on deck, and you've probably heard by now that he's... well, you would have known for sure that he knows the captain well, and that he is a capable fellow, especially watching him fight up on deck.
Okay. Do I have to wait for my next turn to do that?
No, if you want to do anything else right now, that's fine.
Yeah, I want to keep the boat close, so I want to throw a rope, because I know we can fit more people in there.
Okay. So you toss a rope. Arista, Calathor.
asking Arista where Mara is.
Jen? Oh, more kid stuff. I'm sure she would tell you. Shit, Mara's in the boat.
Okay, so then my next action, because I was up top, would be to head up towards the quarter deck. And that's probably about as far as I can get.
Okay. So at this point, you're in a fairly good position because you could hop off the boat, so to speak. You could probably, with some skill, get in that skiff.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what Jen was wanting to do there. The captain is still searching, doesn't seem to find what he's looking for this round. I think this crew has finally decided he's had enough and is starting to head
Did you see
up to this.
trying to talk? Is that been on?
Oh, the Discord?
Yeah.
Give me a second. What is she saying? Oh, she's going to take a jump in the skiff. Okay. Yeah, Jen, if you can roll it, go ahead and roll that. Oh. And very ungracefully, yeah, exactly, a belly flop. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and restart now, Jen. We got another second here. The ship is pretty much on its way to the deep, or deep of the river anyway. Captain may find what he's looking for any moment now. Thrak, I assume you're going to still trying to help him? Okay, why don't you go and give me one more check? Oh, nice.
Almost hit
Yes, I saw that. I was holding my breath.
Okay, you find a box about the size of a shoebox, and as you pick it up, the captain notices, and he starts shaking his head vigorously and reaches out for it as if to grab it from you. I assume you're going to give it to him, or?
Yeah, I give it to him and then indicate towards the hatch and start to indicate.
Yep. Okay, he's going to follow you. And at this point, all of the lower deck is underwater. This human... Actually, all these humans are going to attempt to land in the boat.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
How many people can fit in this boat?
About... I would say 10 safely.
Right, because I want to make sure that I save room for Thrak.
Okay. So you see a couple of the crew members...
Start throwing people out of the boat?
If I need to, it's crew members.
You see several more crew members attempting to land in the boat. Only one succeeds. Two more land in the river. They all seem somewhat adept at swimming, so no one is drowning yet at this point.
I would hope if you're a sailor, you know how to swim.
Yeah.
Historically, this is not true.
Yeah. I contemplated that, but I think these guys are fairly well seasoned. You can see they're fiercely loyal to their captain, so they've been around for a while. Captain and his crew member will make it up there. I assume Thrak, you're heading up too?
Yep.
So, moment of truth. I forgot. I'm sorry, Kelithor. Did you say you had jumped or not? Oh, you were waiting. You were waiting for Arista.
I was waiting for Arista because I didn't know what she was doing, and I didn't think I could jump and have moved all that distance.
Yeah, you can go ahead and jump now if that's your intent. Before you do, you can see Arista, who doesn't seem to be waiting for you, just kind of leapt.
One past me and tried to Superman.
Yep, and slips at the last second. And
Oh, good lord.
all right, you're in the water as well. And then Thrak, are you going to attempt to jump in the boat? You want to jump in the water, try to get in the boat?
If there's anyone in the water, I try and help them towards floating debris. If they're struggling, if they're not struggling, not floating debris, then I'm moving away. If everyone seems in a fit state, then I'm moving towards the boat.
Okay. Let's see. These two guys are actually seeming to be swimming well and decidedly away from you all. The other crew members rather, seem to be holding their own. So, and I'm sorry, you were. So, how are you assisting? Did you say you were going to? Were you going to go in the water or from?
Well, I'm in the water,
Okay.
Then he could probably swim out the crack.
yeah.
Oh, this is true. All right. Eventually, let's see. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Is that right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. We are a little bit overloaded on this skiff. So,
Everybody trying to crawl.
That's why I was trying to push floating debris towards people.
oh, you're right. I'm sorry, you did say that. All right. Well, let's assume that a couple of the crew member have grabbed the debris. The rest have made it in there. So you've got 3 crew members: the captain, Kelithor, Arista, who apparently has no leaping skill at all, and
Never mind that Dex is crying for me.
yeah. Well, you have to roll more.
Caught on his rail. That's what happened. That's why I did it.
Right. All right. At this point, it looks like you could safely maneuver the boat to the side of the river, with some of the crew still in it, some of the crew floating in the river, heading downstream, attempting to swim towards the same shore, and the 2 other gentlemen swimming towards the opposite shore. And this took a little longer than I intended, but I think this is going to be where we're going to have to call it, as we're coming up on 4 o'clock.
But this was fun. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Sorry. When y'all are silent after I say something now, I panic.
No, it's been a long time. And just as an aside, you're absolutely right. Drowning rules are for all characters. They can hold their breath for longer than 90 constitution score. So, as the next version of the Player's Handbook and CKG are in final proofing stages, I will fed this feedback back to Steve. So hopefully this will change in the next
Oh, okay. So the skill or the what is it?
The barbarian skill gives him nothing.
Yeah.
Specifically mentioned it.
Okay.
Yeah, it says half movement. Yeah. You're talking about like the beer stalker skill.
Not the deer stalker, the primal instinct. So it's
Oh,
like
right.
they hold their breath. This ability also helps the barbarian hold his breath for a period of time, and then it just gives the same amount of time that every find a camp that has.
Yeah.
Time to hold his breath. So hopefully we can get that fixed.
Huh. That's been in there for a while then, probably. So how many games? With that?
Sometimes you find this just through playing when it comes up.
Yeah.
And then if nobody else says anything, it just says, oh, that's a new. Never get changed.
Yep. Well, that's good to know. So you're going to give them that feedback. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm part of the unofficial proofreading team. So
Very nice.
on the recent 5th edition
Nice. Okay, so sort of to wrap up here, since we're out of time. It looks like you are all, at least this party, are in the boat together. You've got a few extra hands. There's quite a bit of debris now floating in the river. This ship will sink not terribly long after this moment. And you've got several crew members that are out there sort of floating on barrels or other flotsam. The captain is with you, and that's where we'll pick it up next time. He did. He's clutching. He grabbed nothing else. He's clutching this box under his arm. Oh, and I'm sorry. I should mention, too, you would have noticed that the big guy, Garn, I'm not sure if you would have known his name by now, but probably, had grabbed that sack that he came on board with. So,
There's a lot going on. I easily could not have seen that.
that he grabbed that sack? Yeah. Well, he did, yeah, you're right. You probably wouldn't have noticed. He did go halfway through the battle. He decided to stop running and fighting. And
I helped him upstairs.
that's right.
Track is going to be somewhat irate, given that he was in that town to make a few coins, and now not only has he not made a few coins, he's lost all his stuff. He's not going to be happy. And he's got a hole in him due to someone firing a harpoon.
Yes.
We have to
This is
move
not
on.
a good day, my friend.
We have to move on.
Well, there's a lot of stuff that may wash up on shore here shortly, so.
Maybe
You're
a
just
couple
lucky he didn't see who fired the harpoon.
Oh, it was bombs. It was definitely bombs.
Yeah. He did jump off not long after that, so.
Yep. Yeah, it was kind of sketchy.
Yeah, he kind of panicked a little bit there. And note to self, orc blood, not a good combat lubricant.
Not a good lubricant for much, unless it's inside.
Yes.
Let's get this clear. If we are fighting orcs, we should spill their blood because it will lubricate their slippery.
Oh. Sounds like there might be some party dynamic issues that might need to get settled a little. Maybe a little a racial animosity here.
No, keep it down.
Okay.
Alright, guys. Same time next week?
Yes. Yes, thank you. Thanks for being patient. Yep. All right. See you guys.